years of satellite radio glory.
I've never seen anything like this.
1-866-385-4631.
Hey, this is Trucker Dan. I think a decade of dominance would be incomplete without a complete rundown of the blissful marriage and divorce of Anthony Cumia.
So Anthony got some interesting news on Saturday, was it? Before F.H. Riley's?
I think it was Friday. It was Friday night, maybe.
Friday night?
It was whenever it was snowing. Yeah, Friday night. It's snowing, and I look out the window, and I see some guy knocking on my door. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Go to the door.
Might be a package or
some
something.
chubby guy.
Maybe some of your Nazi memorabilia, Rob.
Yeah, coming in.
that sign for
on.
it. Right,
yeah,
sure.
A sign for it, of course. Lampshades, whatever. And I open the door, and he hands me a big stack of papers. And, I've been there before, so I know what that is. You're being served.
You got served.
I got served. Mm-hmm. I got served.
Now, you kind of been hinting in the last few months that this might be coming because...
Yeah, I thought it was coming.
Anthony's been divorced. I don't even know how long at this
forever.
point.
Please.
7 years, something like that. 6 years.
It's been 7 years, I guess.
You've been
7 years.
You've been divorced 7 years.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, you get served with papers, and now you got to go back to court because things aren't quite right in her world.
Things
or
are
according to her.
Let me tell you, I'll make my statement. Things are absolutely right. Someone is sadly mistaken in her camp over there, the ex-wife's camp. Sadly mistaken at how much money I make. A lot of it is said on the show, and we goof around, and things have been printed in the paper, which we laugh at because they're severely overblown amounts of money that they say that we make. And we just laugh. We're like, yeah, okay, $30 million. That's, I make $30 million. Yeah. When meanwhile, no, we don't.
It's only 20.
Yeah. Come on, let's get real. Now that'll be in the paper. He said he made $20 million. But, They're really sadly mistaken.
Can I be completely honest?
Yeah.
I know we do very well.
Yeah.
And this might shock some people, knowing me and money. I have no idea how much we make a year. I have no clue.
You don't know?
I swear to God, I could give you a number and I could guess at it.
Yeah.
I never wanted to know.
There are also variables.
But the beauty of me, Anthony and I, we make exactly the same. So in my weird world, I don't need to know, don't want to know. I just want to know we're doing well. But I have Anthony to make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Yeah. I have the contracts at home. If any question comes up, I look at it and see what we make.
Every once in a while, I'll ask Anthony a question about it, and he'll answer me. I'm like, oh, all right.
That's what we make.
But as I sit here, I swear to God, I couldn't put a number on what we make a year.
Yeah.
And I like it that way for some weird... It just makes sense in my stupid head.
I kind of keep track.
And Ant keeps track.
I keep track.
And that's why it's okay.
And the reason I keep track is because I have to keep track because I'm involved in a divorce where she has to get money based on how much I make. So, that's how I have to pay her.
See, so Jimmy's doing what I did all day Saturday.
Oh, just fuming.
I was telling Ant before the show in the office today, it's just amazing that in this world, you could say you don't want to be with a person anymore, but then the courts will decide when you actually don't have to be with that person anymore as far as their involvement in your life. Anthony got divorced 7 years ago.
I want no involvement with this person ever again. I don't want to see her name. I don't want to see her. I want no involvement with this person. That's it.
And before you even got divorced, it was a couple of years where you didn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. Right. And out of nowhere, thinking you've kind of moved on with your life, except for having to sign...
Except for a financial commitment, which is, that to me, I've rationalized it to where it's just like business. It's like paying my American Express bill. That's what it is. She's a bill. She's an entity to me that needs to be paid. That's all. And that's what I've been doing. Just like I pay my other bills. I pay the full amount, and I pay it on time. And then I get this load of crap on Friday.
Bring everyone up to speed, because we talked about it on the show. She's been writing on the back of the checks under protest. Like she's cashing these. She's throwing it into some kind of bank account, but under protest. That's why Ant knew something was coming.
I knew something was up because you don't write something like that on a check unless you're gearing up to do something later so that you could pull out all these checks and go, well, see, I did cash him, but I was writing this.
And obviously someone was telling her to write that.
Yeah, someone's telling her. She didn't think this up
A big,
herself.
fat, bloated mess of a person was telling her that.
Exactly. It's so I get these papers, and there was a brand new deposition. That's her statement as to what is going on and why this whole case is being brought. And it was nothing short of a fantasy novel, this whole thing, her statement. And again, it brought up things with the marriage that are irrelevant at this point. Here's what this amounts to now. Because they think I'm making more money than I am, they want a complete assessment of, what I make and my tax returns and stuff like that. And you know something? Okay, I'm fine with that because I have absolutely nothing to hide. Hand over my tax. I'll give my tax returns over to a judge, whatever they need, to see how much I make, and let's see if it matches with what I've been paying. And you know what? It will. It'll absolutely match because I think you have this overinflated view of what I'm making. And they are in for a big surprise. A big, big surprise.
So she wants more money now, 7 years later?
Apparently, they think I've been... And that's the thing. Imagine if every time a bill came in, you paid it. Like the American Express, let's say. Comes in, you pay it. On time, in full. Every single time you're supposed to pay it. And then you get a lawsuit filed by American Express saying, hey, what's your problem? You're supposed to be paying us more, and we're suing you. You'd be livid.
And this is not even like American Express because this is not even a product you're getting to use. This is interest on a product that was busted 7 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. So the first part of it is the deposition, which is, things about the marriage, and this has nothing to do with that anymore. This is a math figure. This is a math problem. That's all it is. It's how much do you make? How much is she entitled to? End of story. This isn't any more about emotional damage and I was in love and he left me for another woman after 9 years of marriage. 7 years ago, he decided to leave me for another woman. Did I? Did I really?
That's what the deposition said?
Yeah.
That was the statement in the deposition?
After her love and support of 9 years, he left me for another woman. Really? Did I just up and leave? Or were there little circumstances that you're leaving out of the deposition that I won't leave out of mine? I certainly won't. You want to include that crap in there? How about 3 years into our marriage? 3 years into our marriage, if that. Let me think. What year was that? I was married in 90. There was 91, 92, 93. When did we go to Boston?
Boston around 95.
5-ish. But
early 95.
So I'd say about, I'd say 3 years into our marriage. I'm at a gig. Opie's there. We're having a blast. Drinking, having fun.
We were getting ready to leave for Boston.
I
remember this day like it's the back of my hand because I'm having a great time.
Oh, it was great.
With Anthony, we're celebrating the fact that we're going to work together finally full time in Boston, do afternoon drive, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we're saying goodbye to the listeners that we had from BAB out there on Long Island.
Yeah.
Big party. They kind of threw us like, all right, I'll see you later party. And all of a sudden, it's still kind of early, and Ant's like, I got to go. Like, where are you going?
Yeah, where are you going?
I got to go.
And believe me, I wouldn't even be saying this if I thought for a second it was like a lie or dishonest, because I could be held liable
of course
for what I'm saying. But this is so absolutely the truth. And there are people that saw it.
I saw it.
There could be witnesses that could come forward.
Can I be a witness?
And say, absolutely. You're cordially invited to be a witness because you were there.
I was kind of pissed off.
I think my brother was there.
I think I was pissed off and jealous at the same time.
Because I had to leave. I had to leave immediately.
2 girls for every
Well, the ex-wife comes up to me and informs me out of nowhere that a girl at the bar that was hanging out there that we had been friends with for a while, this girl Cindy, just use her first name, girl named Cindy, had wanted to come home and have some sex with us.
2 girls for every boy.
Dun.
All of a sudden, Anthony looks at...
Goodbye.
All of a sudden, Anthony looks at me. Gotta go.
2 girls for every boy.
I left the shape of me in the wall.
I've never seen someone leave a bar faster in my life. Just drunk off his ass, like just...
Oh, my God, I was praying, please, police, if there's any night, don't pull me over tonight. Please don't pull me over tonight. I'm on my way home. No, officer, it's like this. Look,
you can understand
you
this.
got to understand. If you want,
look, I wasn't going to
drink tomorrow and be right back at this spot, and you can arrest me tomorrow.
Look, I wasn't going to drink and drive, but look what I got going on in here.
Yeah, come on. You gotta help me out. Help me out, sir. But
out of the blue, she just walks up and says...
The bottom line is, it was out of the blue. Out of the blue.
I saw the whole thing go down like it was yesterday.
They were hanging out all night.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with Opie and just kind of like talking about things, the BAB crew, things like that. Just having fun, hanging out. And she was hanging out with this other girl all night. And, they'd been tying one on and stuff. And apparently the conversation that they were having, it turned to that. And then before I knew it, I was being approached and said, hey, we'll go back to our house with this girl. And the 3 of us will hook up and have some fun.
2 girls for every
Had you ever done anything like that in your life?
Nope. That was first time.
Wow.
Yeah. First time.
Fill it up.
You're filling up a little on this one? So at that point, like I said, 3 years in, right then, I knew something was amiss with the marriage. Because that stuff is all well and fine. It's, believe me, a lot of fun.
You're not going to complain.
It's great. As a guy, it's one of those things, again, #1 fantasy, blah, 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 blah.
You're not going to complain when you're in it and you're in a drunken stupor, but then when you're back to regular life, you're like,
You're kind of thinking, yeah, all right, something's a little amiss. Something's missing here and this is with all the love and support I gave as a wife, my wifely duties, my husband left me after, shut up. So what happened was after that,
wait a minute.
And that went on a couple of times, by the way.
Yeah, well, don't skip over that.
I'm not.
Was it really good?
Glossing over that.
Was it good?
It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Did you focus on each person equally?
No. How the hell would you do that? That's stupid. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You got a new broad laying there right there. What are you going to do?
It wasn't a 50-50 split.
Oh, 50-50. Stop it.
It was 10-90.
95-5.
One got everything, and the old wife got a pat on the head.
Pat on the head. Good girl.
Thank you.
Just waited for her to pass out.
It was
really
yeah, exactly. It was just it was one of those, one of those opportunities, and that had happened a couple of times after that, with the same girl, one of those deals, and then after that was done,
wasn't there a Boston trip involved?
Boston trip? Oh, I don't even remember.
Try to remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, but that went on. I know it was a lot of times when we were when we would drive back down to New York on the weekends.
I think that's what I was getting at when you guys left Boston.
So we were still in Boston. We were living in Boston at that point, away from the situation, but came home on the weekends, down to New York on the weekends, kind of a thing. So that's, that was how the whole thing started of blah, blah, blah. Where's my loving marriage? Well, if it's such a great marriage, why the hell, are you bringing your bisexual tendencies into it? And I want me involved in that whole situation.
Not because you were going to complain.
Because after that happened, because this girl wound up moving down to Florida and wasn't available anymore. And all I heard for a few years after that was, how can we do that again? Got to find somebody.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This is where it gets uncomfortable.
That was it.
I got to turn around. This is the only time I get uncomfortable.
That was it. No, that was how uncomfortable it was getting. Also,
can I turn back?
She would just keep. Yeah, you could turn around.
All right.
She would keep wondering, oh, well, blah blah blah. How are we going to do this? Blah 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 blah. 9 years. I gave him 9 years. My husband then left me 7 years ago. I left because I couldn't be married anymore to you. That's why I left, because there was nothing left to the marriage anymore. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't a marriage where there was this loyalty to each other. She was obviously on the prowl, on the prowl, and I'd had it at that point. I was done, and happened to find someone I'd rather be with. And that was 7 years ago. Still with the girl.
And very happy.
Very happy. Very happy. 7 years ago. So it's not like I'm bouncing around like a whore to 20 different girls. I found somebody that I'm happy with, that I don't have to throw over my shoulder and drag out of a bar. That's a plus.
Oh, boy, I got to turn around again.
I never understood how important locomotion is to a marriage. How important the ability to move by oneself is in a marriage. And that was, but the deposition that I read was, I gave so much and helped in his career and this, that, and again. This has nothing to do with this case that's coming up. This is purely a financial, money, 2 + 2 = 4 kind of a thing. It has nothing to do anymore. The divorce thing, they pulled all that emotional crap out. But this has nothing to do with that. So it shouldn't even have been included in the deposition. But the fantasy that just went on about how, hurt she was and what a scumbag I was for leaving, that's why I left. There was nothing left. There was no love in that marriage. And then why can't you just friggin' leave? You got to be saddled with a debt, and with now I got to look at her effing face in a courtroom again? By the way, everyone's cordially invited. It's April 12th at the courthouse in New York City. I believe it's 60 Center Street.
You sure it's the 12th? You gave me another date.
No, it's the 12th.
Right. I remember you gave me another date on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's all. Because I already wrote it down on my calendar.
It's Center Street. Please, come one, come all. Have fun. Sit in on the gallery and watch and have fun.
What day of the week is that?
I believe it's a Thursday. Oh. Not sure. I think it is.
Look how excited
Come
Jimmy
down,
is.
have some fun.
Should we call the papers?
Call the papers, everyone. Just everybody.
Let's have a little party.
I want everyone to come in and get a good look at the proceedings and see what's really going on with this. And see bloated attorney Dominic Barbara try to pull a fast one on me. Let me tell you something. I'm certainly not the same guy I was 7 years ago. I'm not as naive and idealistic and trusting as I was 7 years ago. I'm a lot more jaded. My eyes are opened. I'm a lot wiser than I was 7 years ago. You fat ass. You jack off.
Well, he wants.
And I'm not going to sit there and be harassed and be bullied by the likes of you yapping head. You're a talking head. You want fame more than anything else. You're a fame monger who just will at the drop of a hat go on any TV or radio show to try to get your name out there, and that's a lot more important to you than any type of justice or what you're supposed to stand for.
Aren't you supposed to pay his lawyer fees too, according to this paperwork you got?
Apparently, of course, the woman's never supposed to pay any legal fees. And I'm supposed to now bend over and pay. There was something in this deposition that said I brought in, get this, I brought in a high-powered team of attorneys to intimidate my ex. Meanwhile, I had one lawyer who barely handled this case. I mean, the guy, it was probably the worst mistake I've ever made in my life. I didn't go and get like a Ralph Felder or one of these high-powered attorneys. I got a guy that I think he did like contract laws for like financial things. He wasn't a divorce attorney even, because I assumed for 25 G's, which I paid him, which for a lawyer is nothing. Like my high-powered team of attorneys cost me about 25 G's. Wow. Meanwhile, I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees for her. Now, meanwhile, yeah. I had nobody as an attorney. And then in this deposition, it's like he hired a team of high-powered attorneys. It's like, what? That's a lie. It's a blatant lie. And then there's mistakes.
But that doesn't matter
in there. There's all kinds of errors in the deposition of monies and things like that. So they are really, really, you don't even understand. And I know the fat ass, the fat F is listening in, taping this to use against me or something like that. That's fine and well. You are in for a really big surprise when you see what we make and what I have paid her as per the settlement.
Let me ask you a question. When you have to pay, which is sick, you have to pay her legal fees. Are you able to contest what her lawyer charges her? Like, can he just charge whatever he wants? And they like, what's to prevent a lawyer from overcharging because you're going to have to pay it?
Let me give you a little scenario, Jim. Here's what it's like. You're in a boxing ring. You hope that the fight will be over after the third round. By round 10, your face is smashed in. You're on the canvas bleeding. You just don't get up. If you got up to try to, figure out how much this one's owed and this one, that you're just going to get punched in the face more. And that's what I was. I was on the canvas, down for the count, and I said, you know something? I give up. I give up. And that's how things get settled. That's how divorces get settled. They beat the crap out of the guy until he gives up. Do you know most divorces never go to trial? They never end with a trial. Most of them are settled.
They just wear you down.
They wear you down and beat you up. It also said,
I saw that happen to Anthony. It was so frustrating. Anthony's the nicest guy. He really is an unbelievable guy, and to see that he has to go through this crap,
I've gone above and beyond.
Just infuriates me on a level I can't even explain.
I've gone above and beyond, and to read that
technically she probably owes Anthony money.
I get this also.
Technically, she probably owes Anthony money. She should just shut her mouth and take her stupid paycheck she gets every month and do what she's doing with it.
It not only said that I hired a high-powered team of attorneys, but at every turn I delayed the proceedings. Meanwhile, I was trying to get this done as quickly as possible.
You used to scream on the air that you just wanted it over.
And court dates would come up. And they would cancel. They would cancel court dates and postpone and postpone. I was ready to roll. They would postpone. So another blatant lie to get the lawyer fees up and to get me to sign another contract. If you remember, I was signing a new contract with Infinity Broadcasting at the time. And me, as the guy, I wanted to get this divorce done before I signed my new deal.
Plus, you want
to move on with your stupid life. I wanted to move on with my life and sign it before a new deal. Because she wasn't entitled to anything with the new deal because she's not even involved with that. Of course, that didn't pan out. So they delayed and delayed and delayed at every turn. And then I read a deposition that I just get now on Friday that says, oh, he delayed, he did this, he did that. Everything that she did, her side did, they're blaming me for doing. It's just blatant lying. Lies. And I got to deal with this again. 7 years later, I got to deal with more court proceedings and bull crap because perhaps, I don't know, I have no proof that this isn't anything that's anything. This is my personal opinion that I believe perhaps she's not banking money like she should have been. I'm giving a lot of money. Relatively speaking, to a lot of the 99% of the workforce out there, she's making a lot of money.
It's a great living.
It's a great living. And perhaps if she had spent that time maybe, I don't know, getting a skill for a job, because eventually this does end. This does end eventually. The gravy train stops. I do not. There's a set period of time that I pay. When that stops, is she going to have a marketable skill? She's going to have to go to work. I mean, it's not, she. As far as I'm concerned, maybe she should have been saving a little more, doing a little more, and not paying her lawyer as much money as she is to do these things. Because I'll tell you another thing. I really don't think I'm going to have to pay the lawyer fee this time, and that's going to come out of someone's pocket. It ain't going to be mine. And if you have to foot that nut, that's going to be a tough one for you, as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
Good luck to you.
We should take a break.
But that's the hell I'm in right now.
But people are calling like crazy. Maybe we could take a few calls after the break. But that's the hell that Anthony had to deal with over the weekend.
Thought it was all, I had fallen into a, kind of a routine with it. Like, all right, I accept it. This is what I have to do. I think, the countdown's on. But now I don't even want to look at that face. I don't even want to have to look at it. And now I'm being forced to.
You got a lawyer? Not the same one as last time.
Oh, believe me. It ain't going to be him. It ain't going to be him, Dominic.
Phones are lit.
It's not going to be that easy this time.
Phones are lit. My ex does this every 5 years.
Yeah, good.
So many people can relate to this today.
Oh, it's
like we said in the office, like you decide somewhere along that, all right, I don't want to be with this person anymore. But the courts and the lawyers and the divorce proceedings, they're the ones that actually decide when you could officially move on.
I paid through the time we weren't working.
Right.
That's what it was. I could have people advised me. They said, dude, you know what you should do? You should go to court and have it so you don't have to pay her because you're not working. It's like, well, I'm still getting paid under contract because, but then people said, but you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. You could be completely out of work and blackballed. They were saying, I heard on TV a lot of times, these guys ain't working again. The offers weren't rolling in, that's for sure. So I didn't know if after that 2 years was up, if I was ever going to see another dime of radio money again. But that was what I was supposed to do, so I did it. And, thank God we wound up getting another job. And it puts me back in this position. Lots of fun.
Stay tuned. More Decade of Dominance to come. We'll be right back. We're back with more of the Decade of Dominance All Request Show. Call 1-866-385-4631 to request your favorite moment.
Let's say hi to Eddie in New Jersey. Eddie, what's going on today?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing, buddy? Listen, I can feel your pain. I don't know what it is with these women. They have no dignity or pride about themselves. It's like they're just sitting back waiting for a welfare check and being a welfare case every month. I don't get it.
There are a lot of women who, when they get divorced, think that the gravy train lasts forever. These women should probably spend their time going to school. A lot of people have to work and go to college at the same time. This is an opportunity for these women to actually go to college full time. So that when the gravy train runs out, they have a nice marketable skill. They could get a good job and maybe keep the lifestyle they were leading instead of, what the hell are they going to do?
Women don't want to be looked like second-class citizens until they get divorced.
Yeah, then
and then they have no problem saying they're the weaker species.
I'm so weak, I can't do anything.
Need someone to take care of them.
Exactly.
But what I don't understand is how did she help your career? What'd she do? Sit back and watch you go on the air?
That's a whole nother thing. We've been through that 800 times. It didn't. In the long run, it didn't matter because, like I said, most divorces never go to trial. They always settle. So if it would have went to trial, who knows what would have happened? It's one of those things where maybe I would have been, the judge would have said, nothing was done. She didn't contribute at all, so you get nothing. Or maybe the judge would have went, well, she contributed 50%, so now you got to give her half. That's that unknown factor that makes people settle. That's why I said a lot of divorces end in settlements. That's just what happens. They knock you down. They beat you up. They give you these scenarios that are 10 times worse than what you could possibly imagine. So that's what happens.
I hear you, buddy. Well, good luck, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, man.
All right, Eddie, thank you. Let's go to Dominic Barbara from Long Island. Dominic.
Anthony,
That sure doesn't sound like him, but okay.
hey, what kind of car are you driving now, Anthony?
I drive a nice Mustang.
Well, you're not driving it anymore. She lost the car.
All right, get out of here. Let's go to Steve in Queens.
That was the worst impression
How did you cut
ever.
that amazing bit off?
What an ass.
Steve, what's up?
Hey, Anthony, will you marry me?
Why?
Sounds like a nice way to make a living, you know?
Yeah,
Really, you never have to work.
that's it. It's nice.
You don't have to you don't have to go back to school. You don't have to look for a job. You don't even have to drive.
No.
You don't even have to drive a car.
No.
Sweet.
She doesn't even drive a car.
It's a great living.
Ann and I were on top of the radio world when this whole thing was going down, and she would take the bus
Yeah.
to the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony was a radio star, and his wife at the time was on a town bus.
She never wanted to drive for some reason. I don't know.
How about you start there and get a license? Sorry, maybe I should just shut up.
It's true.
This just bothers me too.
It does not say much for marriage, though. When I've never been married, and I'm hearing your tale, and I'm clenching my teeth like it happened to me. It's
It is infuriating.
But in all fairness, you gotta know who you're marrying to, because even Anthony admitted, on his wedding night, he went, "Oh God,
I just knew there'd be trouble.
By the way, happy anniversary. Today is your anniversary. According to statements you made in the courtroom, I believe today is your anniversary.
Wait, no. As I recall now, I was asked and I forgot. That was written in the paper, by the way. That wasn't part of any confidential courtroom banter that went down. This was written in the paper because there was a New York Post and Daily News guy in the gallery when this happened. I was asked, when is your wedding anniversary? And I was like,
he did not know.
I couldn't remember because
did not know.
Because I knew March 19th had been important to me for so many years because it was Swallows Day in San Juan Capistrano. When growing up in San Juan Capistrano, it was a very important day. It was the day of, the day the Swallows come back to Capistrano. And there's a big parade and everything. And I got confused March and May. So my anniversary is May 19th, Opie.
Yeah.
So you're a couple of months early. Hey,
just take 20 seconds. There are people just getting in their cars. And what the hell happened? They know it's kind of big news in your life. So out of nowhere, Anthony got served papers for something he thought was over with his ex.
Yeah, apparently they think I'm making more money than I'm making, and they want money from me.
They're dragging Anthony back to court, even though his divorce has been final for about 7 years.
7 years or so. So what are you going to do?
Is it possible for you to sue her for legal fees? Because there are things like frivolous.
Yeah, they do that.
Harassment.
Yeah, that's possible. That's me and my legal team are considering all options, Jim.
Ooh.
That's what I'll say. All options are open to us right now.
I say you make her suffer now because you've been just a nice guy through this whole thing. You really have. I say you make her suffer now.
I've reached my limit, and as I said, I was looking at this as just another bill to pay and kind of rationalizing it like that, but I'm not the same guy I was 7 years ago. I'm not going to just kind of sit down and take it with my cheap lawyer that I thought I'd be able to get away cheap with and got hammered pretty badly. It's not going to happen this time.
Booby Man from Brooklyn, I see you guys woke up the truly effed wallet drained guys.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Joel in Glen Oaks. Joel, what's going on?
Hey, guys, what's up? Listen, 3 years I was getting a divorce. 3 years I was looking for a divorce. I have money. All of a sudden, the only way I can get a divorce is by claiming bankruptcy. Within 3 days, the papers were signed.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess what we're talking about today, though, is, the whole divorce proceedings in general suck, but it just amazes me that Anthony wanted to move on with his life, has moved on with his life, and out of nowhere, he's now got to deal with his ex.
All I could say without going into details, because I can't. I'm precluded from going into any details on this thing. But all I'll say is I have gone, little do they know, because apparently they believe I'm making a lot more than I am making. But I have gone above and beyond my commitment. I have a commitment that I'm supposed to make with paying her support. That's what you do when you get divorced. You got to pay the wife, the ex-wife. and I've gone above and beyond what I am actually supposed to do. And one of the options I have now is looking back and seeing where I went above and beyond, and maybe taking some of that back. Where that'll end up will be, I think somebody will owe me money.
How could you not be able to at least use the product, though? If you're still paying for it, you should be able to
No,
go
he doesn't
over.
want to, Jimmy.
But maybe one of your friends does. If you own something, if you're not driving a car and I need a ride, you could say, hey, go take the jalopy.
Go take the jalopy out for a ride.
So maybe one time I go, you know what, Aunt? Look at this thing. It's dry. And you go, you know what? I know where you can go to wet it.
I got you. I'm paying for something down the road.
Absolutely.
That Jimmy makes a good point.
Yeah.
You should be able to loan it out to your pals.
I wouldn't to my worst enemy. Never mind my friends. What? So she could use those talons, those friggin' nails. Cut your nail. Let me give you a little advice. Cut your nails. That crap went out in the 80s. The goddamn vulture nails she's got.
Boy, I got to turn around again.
Is that for swooping in on wallets? You grab them out of back pockets. Those talons. Enough with your talons.
Are you done?
Christ on a pony.
Can I turn back around?
Yeah, you could turn around.
I swear to God, it's the only time I get uncomfortable on this show.
Jesus.
Let's say hi to Steve in
Get another
Pennsylvania.
tattoo. Get another tattoo.
What's wrong
You're
with
in
tattoos?
Because you're in your 40s now. You're not a kid anymore. Surprise. Surprise, you're in your 40s. Get another tattoo. Why don't you get one of my bank account number on your back?
Oh, boy. I got to turn around again.
It's done you well.
I'm telling you.
E-Rock, tell me when he's done. Is he done?
Get that one. Not going to look so cute behind the bar anymore. When that has to happen after 2 more years of me paying you off. What's going to happen after that? Where are you going to go? You got a job? You got a marketable skill? You're going to hit the gin mills again. Because let me tell you something. They don't tip as well when you're in your 40s as they did when you were in your 20s and early 30s.
41?
It don't happen anymore. The kids don't want to tip the waitress or the bartender unless they think they're going to get a chance with her.
What about like the Japanese tattoo with some of that?
Yeah, get that.
Or Chinese, whatever it is.
Get that.
Where it means something.
What's the Japanese word for leech?
Let's say hi to Steve in Pennsylvania. Steve.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Aunt, this has been going on for years, and it's like, God, man, when is this ever going to end? I mean, I'm sure the knot in your stomach, you got to throw up when you see this.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, I'm a new guy these days. I really am. I just I took it where it would have been. I would have taken it out, and I did like years ago on the process server. The guy that just comes and delivers the court papers to you, tells you when the appearance date is. Like, I unloaded on him the first time, like years ago. Now the guy came to the door. He's like, "You Anthony? Here's the papers." And I'm like, "All right, thanks a lot. Drive safe." It was icy out. You know, I'm not going to kill the messenger.
Is it true you offered him a Bud Light?
I had him come in. We had a Bud Light together. It was one, and then he was late. He had to go serve some more papers.
Hey, it's always worth it, so, you know.
I'm a nice guy. We did. We sucked down a couple of Bud Lights, and he was off on his way in the snow.
He
said we sat in front of the Java log for a while.
All right, enough.
Hey, you're married for a couple of years, you know. Unfortunately, you know, it was a miserable marriage. And why should we have to pay for it, you know, half our lives after the divorce happens?
I don't know.
It's crap.
I
It should
don't
be done and
know.
over with.
Yeah.
And the big C, I'm sure, you know, she's laughing her ass off about this, but, you know, we shouldn't have to pay for it our whole lives because of their misery.
Well, when's the court date at?
April 12th.
April 12th.
I got to be in on April 12th.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there supporting my pal. Where's the courthouse? Downtown?
Yeah, because we're flying out when? For
I think the week after that.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, we got the 14th.
The next day.
We're flying out the next day. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you let the listeners know
I'm
if
flying
you
out
want
that.
to have fun.
All right, sir, hold on.
April 14th.
We're leaving the 20th, I believe.
No, not vacation.
No, you're wrong.
We're doing
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, okay, you're right.
The virus.
The
tour.
O&A Traveling Virus
Yeah.
Comedy Tour in Vegas.
So I know
Tickets
we
on
got
sale
the
now
12th.
through Ticketmaster. All the info's on opie93.com. Go ahead.
I'm going to miss that thing because I'm flying out that Thursday. That was
Oh,
the only
you
flight I
are.
could get. I'm going
The
to miss
12th?
his court date. Yep.
Well,
All right, well, thanks, guys. And Frunkus,
Thank you, sir.
okay?
Frunkus.
So maybe can we talk to the judge and move that?
Let's say hi to Eddie in
Maybe
Brooklyn.
we'll have to move it.
My friend wants to watch you on.
Yeah, my friend wants to hang out and watch.
Eddie,
Yeah.
what's up?
How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
All right. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I went through a similar situation, and when I try to recoup any kind of monies or try to talk to the judge about that I did above and beyond
Yeah.
what was expected of me in the settlement, well, he told me, well, you're a really nice guy. But I didn't have to do any of that.
Hey, you're a real nice guy. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thanks a lot, you know.
That sucks.
It did. It really did. Because I thought, you know, my position was that if I gave her the money, I wasn't sure it was going to be put to the right things, like for their schooling. Or
See, you got child stuff. That's different.
Yeah.
All right.
That's different.
Hey, this just in. My brother Elmo is
right.
in the middle of making a T-shirt for Anthony's April 12th court appearance.
Oh, great. Get the T-shirts.
We'll be throwing
Signs.
them around.
Wow stickers. We'll give them out. What is this guy Jack saying?
Let's go to Jack.
Hey, Jack. What's up there? Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Jack.
I just think you're adding more fuel to the fire.
How's that?
Well, just, back off and, suck it up.
We share everything on the show, or as
dude,
much as we can.
I've backed off and sucked it up for years.
That's right.
And everything was hunky-dory.
I understand, but if you're going to court, you're only adding more fuel to the fire.
You know what? I'm adding fuel I want put on the fire.
Well,
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm saying exactly what I want to say here on the air. And I don't care if they record it and play it back in the courtroom. This is what happened. These are facts that I'm saying. This isn't some deposition full of crap that is full of lies and inconsistencies and numerical errors. There were actually errors in there in the math.
I'm not denying that, and I wish you all the luck in the world.
All right.
Yes,
Sir, if you throw out one more cliche, I'm going to smash my own face into the console.
Bird in the hand. It's worth two in the bush.
Fuel in the fire.
All right,
All the
Jack.
luck
Fuel
in
in
the
the
world.
fire.
Get home safe.
Thanks, Jack.
One more from Jeff in Philly. Jeff, listening on WYSP. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, I just want to cheer you up, man. We love it here in Philly, and we got your back all the way.
Thanks. Want some Philly representation then?
Yeah,
in the courtroom.
I'm glad Aunt's sharing because I think a lot of guys are going through this crap.
That's it. That's what it is. You know, a lot of people too. You could just sit there and just, I don't want to say this or that or the other thing. All I'm saying is what happened. If I'm saying anything that I could be sued for, well, then it's a surprise to me because, like I said, anything I've said, there are 20 people that could back up everything I'm saying. That's our marriage. In my opinion, I'll even say at that point that I mentioned earlier, when she was inviting other women into our marriage, that's when I was like, all right, there's an issue, and that was 3 or so years into our marriage. Please. Enough. Don't come off like the poor little victim in your deposition.
Let's go to Diana in California. Diana.
Hey, Anthony, you're doing the right thing. That's the problem. You were too nice to her, and she knew you would not go to court, and she knew you would pay her. Now you need to fucking take her. Oh, she's a.
Oops.
Oh, I'm on the radio. Sorry.
Oops.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oops.
She deserves it. And isn't he friends with Howard Stern? Isn't that like his friend?
Well, Dominic Barber, it's known. Yeah, he's good friends with Howard Stern.
Why don't you send some chick over there to fucking seduce him? Oh, sorry.
You are a potty mouth girl. You are just
I'm
a
very angry
filthy
for you.
potty mouth.
I love this. She's
I know,
saying it,
she's
though. She's
angry.
saying she's very angry. She's on your side,
She's
Anthony.
It
angry.
messes it up for the rest of us girls, because the same thing happened to my boyfriend with his wife. He just let things go. It was easier to just, pay it and get her, so she would leave, and she took advantage of him.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. Well, let him bring it on this time.
You should have someone go down and seduce him, and then he'll be on your side.
I just can't wait for the day we get the news that Dominic Barber died of a effing heart attack, that bloated mess.
Or how about killed by a drunk driver? That's even better.
That would be nice.
Could have been avoided.
Well, don't do that. Just have some hoochie go down there and take care of him. And
all right, Diana.
I got you, potty mouth.
We'll be back with more of your requests from the last Decade of Dominance. Welcome back to the Decade of Dominance All Request Show. Call 1-866-385-4631 to request your favorite moment.
Hey, this is Trucker Dan. I think a Decade of Dominance would be incomplete without a complete rundown of the blissful marriage and divorce of Anthony Cumia.
Today, people have been reminding me, it is a wonderful day in my life. I will remember this day forever.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, Jimmy. Nope, this is my day of freedom. Freedom! After I've been disemboweled, I yell freedom because I'm done. No more paying. All those years, the listeners stuck through and listened to my happy horseshit on my comments on marriage, on divorce. Whenever people have been married and call in and ask for suggestions and advice, I hate it. So it's because, obviously people know I got divorced. Yes, back in the late 90s. Let me repeat that. I was divorced in the late 90s. And today, October 1st, 2009, I make my last payment. Done. Done. I wipe my hands clean.
That was
this.
I remember before I never knew your ex. Well, when you were really married.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first started coming on the show, you guys were talking, and Opie was reading an article out of the paper. The New York Post had quoted some sexual stuff.
Yes, hubba. Oh, Jim.
And that was right around that time. I can't believe that's 10 years ago, man.
10 years ago, I sat in that courtroom with Dominic Barber there across from me, giving me the old, cross-examine. And the New York Post and Daily News writers were sitting in the little gallery there with their little notepads, jotting down notes. And I believe I was asked, what news article was it? I was asked, when was your date of your wedding? And I went, hamna, Mr. Martin. I could not, for the sake of me, remember. I would be horrible on the stand. There are people that get on the stand and they're like smooth as silk. Very good. Make a great witness. I made an awful witness.
Did you?
I was horrible. I can't remember anything. I'm just sitting there all nervous, sweating. And he started getting into, some of the reasons that perhaps the marriage was not going as well as it did for previous years. And it was a little frisky. There's a little frisk going on there. Actually, it was in the newspaper, so I'm talking about there was allegations of maybe a threesome. And boy, did that get the little pencils going on the New York Post and Daily News guys. So, I just went like, and I realized that what an awful witness I was, and I just said, all right, hold on. Maybe we can, talk this out, sort it out in a room somewhere. And then it was, hammered out without the need of a actual trial.
Can you say this? In the 10 years, did you pay out over $1 million?
I cannot state figures, facts and figures, things like that. The whole thing has a bunch of stipulations.
Right. Well, you're allowed to talk about what you're not.
allowed, you're not, this, that, the other thing.
How about this? If I knew the figure, would it anger and disturb me?
Yes. It would anger and disturb you. It has been very angering to me. Sure. Very stressful. It's just a horrible thing to have to go through. Divorce in this country is just an abominable display of sexual fucking discrimination
and favoritism.
Yes, the women want all the glass ceilings taken down, completely equal pay for equal work, equal rights, equal this. Everyone's equal. You go into that divorce court, you are fucked in the asshole.
They want the ceilings taken down, all that stuff, except in cases of custody,
right,
and alimony.
Yeah.
Anything to do with divorce, they want to put on an apron that says "World's Best Mom," even if they have no kids, and then sit there and cry
about how incapable they are of doing anything. That seems to be what women like to do during divorce cases. I'm incapable of supporting myself. And my child or children, and I need the man that I was married to that we now do not like each other anymore for whatever reason we're getting a divorce, but I still need him to pay for me because I am incompetent and cannot possibly get a job that could support myself.
Why couldn't, if there's kids, it's one thing, but without kids? Why not in a case, couldn't, I could almost understand for the
I
first...
have no kids, by the way. No kids, no house, no nothing.
First year, maybe 2. The woman has to get on her feet because the guy's been the breadwinner. She was doing her home duties, but there's no children.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that within a year, possibly 2 on the long haul, she can't get a fucking job. Why does she need to fucking to blood suck off the guy for however long it is?
I don't understand that at all. It's embarrassing to women. I think it's an embarrassment that in this day and age where it's politically incorrect in the workplace to make any type of sexual joke. They'll get you fucking thrown out of your job by going to human resources. They'll sue a company for not getting equal pay for the same job. Yet the second they step in that divorce court, all bets are off. It's back to being fucking 1920. And, it's all on the guy to support this poor waif that can do nothing for herself anymore. And like you said, perhaps maybe a year, 2 years, things like that. Fine. But to have somebody actually have to pay for a number of years, let alone a decade,
with no kids,
is complete insanity. It's just insanity. Oh, we got a little 1999. Anthony was just getting a divorce. History. Might remember the euro is established. There was no euro when I was married. Dow closes over 10,000 for the first time. SpongeBob makes his debut. Microsoft releases Windows 98, second edition. That was good. Worked about as well as my marriage did, by the way. Star Wars Episode 1 is released. A little website, Napster, debuts.
That was the debut of Napster? Wow.
Yeah. See, while I was married, I didn't know about Napster. Didn't. I just thought that was when you laid your head down when you were sleepy.
If I didn't have water in my mouth, I would have leaped over the console and bitten you.
You should have spit it out at me and bitten me anyway.
Napster.
Bush announces he'll run for president. Stephen King was hit by that car.
Wow.
That's it. I felt your pain around the same time, Stephen. Viacom and CBS merged.
Worked out well for the radio division.
And the celebrity deaths of that great year, 1999, when I first got my divorce. Owen Hart and Dana Plato both died. Wow, 2 biggies we lost that year, did we? Holy shit. Those are the 2 you can come up with. But that is fucking like, come on. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But today, God, I was waiting for like this day for so long. It's just, all right. Imagine sitting there, because there were many times I would just be like, all right, just 5 more years. I'm halfway there. 5 more years to go. And it's like, 3 years, 2. 1 year. Yeah, years I'm talking.
You're getting a raise.
That's pretty much what it amounts to. Just in time to pay those Obama taxes. I get fucked no matter what happens. Jesus.
Poor Aunt.
But some people are suggesting, was it worth the price? Yes. Yes, it was. I have had my share of pussy that would fucking make people cry.
Would knock your socks off.
Oh, great. So getting out of a marriage was very, very good for me, I think. Because I was really not a happy guy during that time. Like I'm Mr. Joy now. I yell all the time, apparently.
Yes.
But
you're a gun nut. You're a fucking bundle of nerves. It's funny. I wasn't happy then, as opposed to the picture of emotional and spiritual health you see now. Just
yeah. Well,
I sit next to a spiritual vacuum.
Yeah. But no, I'm just glad that's over. I was able to. I remember one time. I won, and this was back in like 98. This is just before things went haywire. I wanted to get a cell phone. And now this is 1998. People had like the StarTACs. I think Opie had gotten a StarTAC. I was like, fuck, man. I want a cell phone. And I was told no. No.
Why?
I don't know. And then I said, well, because I was very, very like, let's not make any waves. I'll be okay. Okie doke. I was told I could get a car phone for emergencies. Like if the car broke down, one of those giant things you put in with the little corkscrew pig dick antenna on the back of the windshield window, the back window. I was told that would be okay, but under no circumstances was I to get a cell phone.
Why didn't you just say, shut up, I'm getting one?
Because Anthony was one of the biggest pussies in the world. In the world! Up until I got divorced. Then, like, all bets off. I had to change my whole lifestyle and everything. Just change it. Because it was too, I was very like, all right, okay. Well, very emasculated.
You just didn't want to fight.
Yeah. I was tired of any confrontation, conflict, fighting. So, yeah, I would give in and be like, bleh, bleh. So I got divorced. Well, actually, when the stuff started, legal wrangling started going on. That's when I got my first cell phone. I think I called up and went, ha ha! I'm calling from the street. I'm walking.
What a maverick!
I was wild.
How annoying! You couldn't get a cell phone.
I know.
Don't you hate marriage?
There were so many things, and I think a lot of married guys go through it. And you just kind of write it off as like, well, you know something. This is my life. This is what I stepped into. And these poor fuckers that are in a bad situation and have like kids, so they can't leave. Their whole like existence is based on being married. So perhaps he's got a mutual business with the wife, so he knows that would be destroyed. I mean, just having to live and be that unhappy, to be with somebody you're not happy with, and to have to. I remember getting like yelled at for not taking the garbage out. And it's like, well, why? The pail's there. Could you take it out?
Well, did you have jobs
at work?
Did you both have jobs of equal pay? Or close to it?
No. In Massachusetts, when I first started up there, there was like, she worked, I worked. I wasn't making a lot of money at all. I think I was making like $28,000 a year or something like that at AAF for like the first 6 months. And Brucey gave me a raise. 28.5. No, it's a little more, not much, but it was. She was working, and then we got to New York, penned a better deal. Things started going a little better, and she didn't have to work. But I would always assume if the guy went out and worked and made enough money where the woman didn't have to work, that perhaps the woman could pick up, those chores, those things, the housekeeping things,
yes.
In total. And I wouldn't have to come home and take the garbage out or get yelled at for not taking the garbage out for what I assumed to be just the ability to make me do that, Sort of like all right, I still got, because some women I think are like that.
All women are like that.
Like I still want to have something over you. I still want to have the ability to go, hey, you, Hey, take your goddamn hands off. No, you take the garbage out. Do this. I'm still running this show.
I will say you won. You fucking won.
Really?
In the long run. You won. You got out. All right, you had to pay. It sucks.
Yeah.
You got no kids. All you wound up in a fucking multi-million-dollar mansion with guns, and you fuck a lot of broads. The winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Winner.
Your fucking dick smells like 8 different vaginas at any given time. You got fucking millions. You live in a mansion. You won. You drink whatever you want. You hang out with your friends whenever you want. No one. You want a fucking movie theater and a karaoke machine? You're like a giant child. You have a fucking keg, a truck. You go shooting guns.
You're right.
Whatever you want to do.
I feel good about that, Jimmy. Thank you.
You fucking rent sports cars with your fucking dopey cop friend and speed. No one tells you what to do. You fucking won, man.
You know something? Perhaps I owe. That was my debt of gratitude for saying, you know something? If I didn't go through that crap, I might still be the, submissive kind of not go out there and do whatever the fuck I want to do kind of guy.
Or maybe or maybe the time you were married, you would have done something stupid like knock some girl up hot. And all of a sudden, she has a kid. It's all these years later. She's fat. She's with someone else.
In the gut.
I'll play. Who wouldn't have?
Yeah, right down the stairs.
Fucking something on a fucking hidden dragon or crouching dragon.
Crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
Whatever.
Something's crouching. Something's hiding,
and something's falling out. You fucking won, Ant.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
You won.
All right. That's a nice little bit of perspective put on it on this October 1st, the last day of my payments.
No one tells you what to do.
It's wonderful.
Ever.
There is this fear, though, that it always resides, I think, in any guy that is done, that it's not done. You get this fucking thought like, am I going to get subpoena that, this, that, the other thing? I don't know. There's a multitude of things that might come up. Where whether they're win, lose, or draw, you still have to pay legal fees, things like that. Like that is always going to be this constant vulture over my shoulder thought that it's not over.
Any legal fees you have to pay. I don't know what you paid a month, but I'm guessing any small legal fees you have to pay are not going to be what you were paying a month.
No. I understand that, but it's not even just the money part of it. It's the just the feeling of being harassed at times, where you're like, if I have to go down a goddamn Center Street one more fucking time over this, it's just unfathomable. I can't imagine walking in there again, looking again at these people, having to sit before a judge that just uses a slide rule to figure things out instead of actually listening to testimony. Just things like that. Like that to me is a huge fear I have right now.
Yeah. Well, let's just say as somebody who's been through certain situations, it's natural to feel that way when it's done. But then you realize, wow, it really is over. And any other little inklings where it pops up, that's all it is. They're like little flash fires that are put out quickly.
It's not like the big blaze.
You are, look,
done with the big blaze.
Financially, you can out-litigate most regular civilians if they choose to litigate with you.
Yeah.
Because they also have to pay for lawyers.
Yeah.
Not just you, they have to pay for them too. And no lawyer's doing shit for free.
No, not in those cases, that's for sure.
No.
Spencer, the trucker. I guess Spencer, the trucker, says he wants to talk about divorce. What's up, Spencer?
Oh, not much, man.
Spencer,
man, I make $85,000 a year. I pay $20,000 a year in taxes and $20,000 a year in child support.
So 50% of your money out the window.
Well, that's child support.
Out the window, dude. I've been divorced 5 years. My daughter's 9. I still have 9 more years.
Now,
to go.
I'm not even going to. Thanks a lot, Spencer. It puts a whole nother thing on it, though. I'm not going to go into child support.
Right.
Like, that's a whole nother fucking animal. You got kids. Sorry, Charlie. You got to pay.
Yep.
Now you got to pay for your fucking kid. That's regardless of your wife, if she was a fucking cunt on wheels or the nicest woman in the world. or you were nice, or you were a cheating bastard, whatever it is. Now you got to pay for your kid. She's 9. Happy 9 more years at least.
And that's if the money actually goes to the kid. Because
right. Well, that's another thing too. A lot of these child support cases, the wife winds up kicking it up so high because she's siphoning off the child support money and buying herself some shoes and clothes and things like that. But it's very hard to argue that point.
Sure is.
When you're just a guy and a girl, and you are married and you own no real estate. No real money to speak of in terms of, real bulk liquid assets, and no kids, leased vehicles, things like that. There's no reason. And especially in an age range where, this isn't a divorce happening a lot of times where these women are 55, 60 years old going, well, I got to get in the workplace now. Right. I'm talking women that are well in their early 30s, mid 30s even, where they can absolutely get out, maybe use some of the money they have gotten in the divorce in some type of job training, schooling over the years, whatever, and then come out of it as a very productive member of society, supporting themselves, building a career, perhaps.
A lot of them don't want to, though. They want to have the same lack of financial pressure, and lack of having to do shit to earn the living. It's fucking sickening.
Yeah.
It's not 1930. Women are paid fairly equal.
Yeah.
And they should be.
So
sorry, man.
You divorcee guys on the phones, because I want to continue talking about this and take some calls, because there are a lot of good calls about people that have been through these situations and stuff. We hit on this every so often, but today's a special little day. Jello Jeff from Oklahoma, what's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Hey,
good.
Hey, buddy.
Speak and be spoken to.
Okay. So I've been listening to you guys for a while, and about 3.5 years ago, I got married to a fucking cunt. And I called in with you guys, with Louis C.K., and you guys were like, yeah, you need to get out of that shit. And I did. Like a month ago, I fucking packed up and left. And thank God we didn't have any kids or anything like that. The house was already hers, and I said, fuck you. I got my shit, got the fuck out of there.
The house was hers already?
House. What?
Dude, how did she get the house?
It was already hers. So.
So you're the fucking freeloader then.
How long after you were married did you realize that she was kind of a cunt?
Maybe 2 months.
What happened that you're like, fuck, what did I do?
Kind of like what Anthony was talking about earlier. My brother and I are real tight. We were going to go do something one night, and I was like, well, we're going to run down, just do something stupid. And she's like, no, not tonight. You're not going to. And I was like, so now I got to fucking ask permission for everything? Yeah. Like, fuck you.
The asking permission thing is something that just should not be part of fucking any marriage.
Never.
What the hell? Where does that come from? Oh, really? Yes, I'm going.
I got a girlfriend, right? I've never been married, and she does not live with me. She spends a lot of time
Thanks,
at
Jeff.
my place. But I'll catch little moments happening, like where I'll want to do something, and I'll go, she's going to get annoyed. But then I'm like, that's what happens when you get fucking too into it. So then I just do it anyway, and I'm like, fuck her if she gets annoyed.
Yeah.
And we argue sometimes. I'm like, you're not my wife.
Yeah.
We're not fucking married.
And even if you are married, like the asking permission thing. And again, I don't know what marriage with kids is like. I can only assume it's a fucking nightmare.
Well, it all depends on how you look at it.
Oh, Uncle Paul now. Fringe benefits.
Sometimes your wife gets very angry. That's things that are reported.
Like you can't be. I can understand. You can't just go, hey, I'm going to the Borgata for the weekend, with some friends. If you have a kid. You can't then saddle the wife with the kid. Maybe you got fucking responsibilities, shit like that. But if you're just going out with a girl or married, and it's just you two, there's no reason to go, you know what? Hey, me and the guys are going to Atlantic City, going to do some gambling. I'll be back Monday, or I'll be back Sunday night, or whatever. Oh, really? Oh, hey, you are? Oh, what am I supposed to do? Where does that come from? Enough.
They just don't like to see us have fun.
No.
Their idea of fun is not what our idea of fun is.
No, it isn't.
We think different things are fun.
And the whole thing of prioritizing fun. Like, if you want to go out with your friends for the weekend, it doesn't mean you want to go out and have fun with your friends for the weekend. It means you don't want to be with her for the weekend. That's how she takes it. That's a good point.
Yeah, she's actually kind of right.
You know,
not being with her equals fun.
Because there are situations where it's like, all right, you're with your chick, you're having a good time, okay? You're having some fun. Then you want to just hang out with the guys, fucking go to a strip club, do whatever. Whatever guys do. Do whatever you did when you were laughing and smiling and happy before marriage. And the whole asking, hey, can I go out with my friends? When? When will you be back? What are you doing? What? I understand the shoe on the other foot thing. If she comes up to you and goes, my girlfriends and me, we're going to go out. We're going to do... As long as there's no dick sucking and fucking going on, then...
By her either, though. By her either.
That's what I mean. Oh. Yes, of course. I finally got your little joke. Just rambling on. I didn't realize I was the guy sucking a dick.
It's okay.
Oh, isolate that.
Little in front of the joke was actually accurate. It wasn't much of a joke. It was more the makings of a joke, and I prematurely fired it out.
I just know I've made so many concessions in life with girls and women my whole fucking life. Growing up, going through high school, the littlest dopey girlfriend relationship in junior high up until like marriage. I've always made the concessions. I've always been the one, even though I knew I was dead fucking right on something, having to go, I'm sorry. And then meanwhile, there's just rage in my head going, I'm not, because I know I'm fucking right. And then you get the, yeah, well, at least you realize that you... It's like, no, I apologize. I didn't want to. And I'm getting the, at least I realize speech. Take it as an apology and walk away because I'm going to explode.
I can never apologize under this. Unless if I'm really wrong,
pussy.
I can never do it.
I'm the worst. Or at least I was. I was very bad.
It's all that spaghetti on the wall. That's all it is.
It's the spaghetti. It's my dad throwing the spaghetti on the wall. It's all that.
It's avoiding confrontation.
Yeah, because I saw enough of it, I guess, as a kid.
Right.
If you want to delve into some psychobabble, I guess, whatever. I never looked at it that way, and I still don't look like I got to find the cause. Like some people are compelled to find the reason that they act a certain way instead of just fixing the fucking problem and stop doing it.
Sometimes realizing it helps only in that, like, oh, that's what that is. It's almost like if every time I eat something, I get a stabbing pain in my stomach. It's like the next time I get a stabbing pain in my stomach, I'm like, oh, yeah, you ate that again. It's like I'm not going to be fucking panicky. Like, what the fuck is wrong with my stomach? Sometimes it just helps identify.
But I love spaghetti.
I didn't mean spaghetti. I
thought you were
gallons
literal.
To come.
You were being literal Jim and saying I ate some and had a bellyache.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So it's just my whole life, though, done that, made those concessions and asked permission to go out and been denied and like gone out and then felt like, oh, my God, the whole time I was out, I just knew I was in trouble. Like, and I'd have to make up an excuse as to where I was and what I was doing instead of just saying, me and fucking Joe Curry were hanging out at the off-Broadway pub drinking beer.
But don't you notice when you're making an excuse, you start, like, say you saw a female friend. And you want to, you know you're going to hear shit. So you want to say, yeah, I saw Diane. But you have to go, I saw Diane. Like, yeah, I know her from a long time ago. I was friends with her husband.
Yeah.
You have to start...
Insta excuse comes out,
immediately constructing the relationship or whatever it is just so you don't have to hear shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I don't get it.
This is where Bob Kelly you talk to me like, you know what, dude? All you got to do is go, boom, fuck you. He gives like the worst advice. It's like, shut up, Bob. You don't do that.
My favorite thing is the assumptions, like where you'll be with your chick, and then she'll throw little keywords or clues at you, and then you have to now piece together what she actually means.
Ah, yeah, that's so much fun.
That's probably my least favorite, part or component of the relationship.
God forbid you don't get it right.
Where, yeah, well, exactly, because let's say you're talking to your chick, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll be home probably about 8." That doesn't mean I'm just letting you know what time I'm going to be home. That means I'm going to be home at 8. You should be too. And if you're not, I'm going to be really pissed off. But I'm not going to tell you straight up. I'm just going to let you see if you can decide what I'm thinking.
And then when you're in trouble, it'll be, I told you I was going to be home at 8. And you're like, yeah, but you didn't say I couldn't go out.
Mm-hmm. Because that's exactly how it goes. Because then the fight starts, and then it's exactly verbatim what you just said. It's, well, I told you I was going to be home at 8.
That
it's
wasn't
why the
don't
fuck
go out.
Can't you just say I'm home? I know you're out and doing stuff, but I'd appreciate it if if you come home and we could do something together. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that sounds too nice and civil.
Don't just throw out little puzzle
reasonable.
pieces and expect me to put them all together.
Yep.
Okay, just say what you mean.
What's worse than the fucking bad prying question when they do this shit? Because women are not good psychologically. They're fucking dumbbells.
We do see right through that, by the way,
they're
girls.
terrible. Like, I had my phone today. I'm listening to some messages. My mother had left me a message. So she hears a female voice from across the room. She goes, "Oh, is that me? Like, did I leave that message?" And I'm like, "No." I know why you're asking. Dead silence. I hang up the phone because I heard the message. A minute later, well, who was that? And I wanted to go, why? And it would have just been a big fight, but I wanted to fight because I knew it was my mother. But I wanted to say my mother. But it's like, why don't you just ask me right out? Don't try to be slick.
So it was there's another girl's voice on there.
Yes.
I'm a little suspect of what that is, but instead of, showing the true colors there, it's always, hey, yeah.
Who is that?
Oh, who's that?
It's like they hear a selected part, like they hear the word cocksucking coming out of the phone. All of a sudden,
and it was just mom still?
Absolutely. Of course.
Asking dad if he'd like a good one. Let's see what we got here. When you're married, let's go to Ed. Ed. Hi, Ed from Connecticut.
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hang it.
Don't you think it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission now?
That old
Like,
forgiveness,
get over it.
then permission. Nah, you gotta have you gotta have like a special mindset also in order to do that, because you're still feeling like a fucking piece of shit when you're out having fun.
Right.
You still feel like now you got to answer for something. So the asking for forgiveness is the apology that you don't want to make. So no, I'd rather be able to just say, no, this is what I'm doing. And like I said, my entire life never did that. Avoided confrontation to the point where I was just miserable. For so many years of my life were spent like just not being happy in a situation where I should have been happy in. Not walking around crying and depressed the whole time. I had my share of fun, that's for sure. But when it came to relationships and certain aspects of them, it was like I should be able to go and have a good time without having to answer to somebody, especially before I was married. Shit, that's girlfriend stuff. That's true fuck you stuff.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. I just would fucking, me get all wormy and fucking apologetic. Yuck. I sucked.
Yeah, but so what? You learned. At least you're not fucking 65 and married and miserable. You're fucking, you're
63.
2 years. Just going to say 2 years away from it.
Oh, you fucker. I saw that one coming.
But it's like, now you learned. A lot of guys don't learn, man. You're lucky you didn't have fucking kids.
Yeah. Oh, believe me.
And you taught me, too.
Yeah. Don't.
No.
Don't.
Won't.
Yuck. Hi there, Sarah. Sarah from Ohio. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Sarah.
You liking our misogynistic talk of the day?
Yes.
Misogynistic
Actually,
Thursdays.
It doesn't vary much from day to day, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You guys are dating the wrong ladies.
Is that it?
There's really no other.
Don't you think there'd be a track record, though, where occasionally you'd pick a winner?
Yeah.
Where it wouldn't be like that? Like how...
Dude, it's
how
not a poster. You should know. You should know better than anybody that odds don't always play in your favor. It's the river card. You can't bet on the river card.
I always get a suck out. Somebody sucks out and I get fucked.
No, sorry.
Now, what... So dating the wrong kind of ladies. Now, what about you? Are you in a relationship? Are you married?
I am. Well, I mean, I'm not legally married, but I've been in a relationship for 7 years.
All right. Now, what about your guy friend?
She's a lady friend.
Does he ask what? A lady? What?
Yeah, she's a lady friend.
Oh, are you kidding?
No, why would I be?
I just was
That's
asking.
true. Lesbians never joke.
You're a lesbian.
I don't make bad jokes.
Oh, okay. Well, you know something? You're a hell of a judge on what type of ladies we should be going out with.
That's my point. You're dating the wrong ladies.
He's being sarcastic. He doesn't think you're a particularly good judge.
Yeah, I don't think you're a good judge of men and women cohabitating and dating and making compromises and doing things like that because you both have vaginas.
Well, there is the sexual thing, and there's a psychological thing that you're totally missing.
Yeah.
Women are fucking crazy.
No. You know something? I have said that for many years now. I've just convinced. I've been convinced that women are kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
without the
they're.
mask, yeah, sure.
And I think they're all like that. And then they'll say, guys are all crazy too. They'll all. I guess it's just a matter. It's a matter of. It's not even a matter of.
It's
can you?
simple. You know what you want, and women never ever know what they want, even if they tell you that's what they want.
True. It's not a matter of getting along with somebody as much as it is a matter of having conflicting baggage, I think. Like when you're in a relationship, it's not even like, wow, we're made for each other. This is great. We have so many common interests. It's how much shit that it's the least shit you don't have in common is more important than the shit you have in common. The less you can fight about, the better. And then just sitting on the couch watching TV is a good time. You don't have to fucking be out spinning plates on sticks for these girls, as long as you're not sitting there alone just fucking looking at each other with disdain.
Then there are these awkward moments in a relationship, though, like when you're watching TV and she likes to lay with you and put her head on you because she's close. But you want to go, I hate being touched when I watch TV. But you can't say that without starting a fight, so you just sit there brooding.
That is a tough one, though.
It's like, I just don't want to be touched right now. But that's not
What about
by
guys who like that, though? Dudes like that?
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Like isn't Opie like that? Isn't he gay like that?
Gay,
I don't know. I never laid around on the couch with him.
When his head's on your
we
lap.
fucking head our own ways.
How about you just don't rub your feet on me for 3.5 straight hours while I'm trying to do things?
Oh, how fucking awful is that?
How about that?
Oh shit!
Where on you though? On your your legs?
Yeah.
Like a cat doing biscuits.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing biscuits.
Exactly. Happy feet.
That's what we would call it.
Thanks a lot, Sarah. Take it easy.
Bye.
Yeah, lesbian.
Yes.
Love
Very hot.
Sarah. Lesbian.
We all love lesbians.
It's fantastic. Yeah, the touching thing is weird because that's a weird situation. If you're hanging out just watching a movie, usually there's an assumption there that you can just kind of hang out and lay your head down, head on shoulder, hand on fucking lap, whatever, arm around, things like that. And then if you say something, there's really no excuse for it. If you say, I don't feel like being touched, that means I don't like you touching me.
But that's not, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's not the mess.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get up and go to the bathroom and you sit down on the couch, you position yourself a little different, hoping they get a hint. Women are the worst fucking hint takers.
Keeps going and going. She gets you a Flomax prescription. Guy does nothing but get up and piss.
Yeah.
No,
Every
get away
time
from
I
you.
touch him. It's like, why don't you stop, fucking octopus hands? I'm here. Do you not see me?
You don't like that?
Sometimes I don't mind. I like affection, but other times it's like, stop touching me.
You don't like being touched by, like...
I love it at times.
Like, at times, it just... You know what it is? It doesn't happen so much that it bugs me.
Right.
Like, if I was, leaving for work in the morning, and as I'm getting into the truck, I'm being touched right up until I pull out of the driveway. Like, there could be a problem with the, attachment there. But I don't mind sitting on the couch, having your leg rubbed,
Me
things
neither.
like that, my hand job.
Me neither, please. Just jerk it.
Yeah, if you're going to touch something, here, I'll give you this.
But then, like, after a while, sometimes it gets to be hot, and it's just warm with the body heat, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh, okay, well, that's an uncomfortable issue. That's not like you're touching me issue. That's like you wouldn't want a blanket on you or a cat.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
We're a fucking human. It's like, will you look at the TV? That's what I do when TV's on.
Look at the TV. Stop looking at me and thinking what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Stop with the fucking loving looks. Look at the tube. I'm next to you.
God damn.
How much togetherness do you need?
And why does as a guy do you have to convince the girl that you're with that you're there? Like just deal. Like, we're together. I'm not going anywhere. Why do I have to keep convincing you that I'm not going anywhere?
It's like we both exist. We're here.
Stop it.
Exactly.
We're here.
We're here. We're watching.
Let's go to Canada. Ooh. Ryan from Ontario.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, I got this chum of mine just got married a couple of years ago, and he's married to the biggest fucking cunt I've seen in a long time.
Well, how long do you know this chum? Did you grow up with him?
Oh, yeah, we grew up together. This guy was kind of a bit of a goofy playboy. And
Sure.
through a lot of different chicks and just had a good time.
Is he your best chum, or is he like just a regular chum?
Anyway, we're like best chums.
But does she hate? Does she hate though that you're so chummy with him?
Oh, yeah, she hates anybody that has to do anything with him because that means that he's going to be pulled away from her.
Sure.
Is it something? Yeah. Is it something like you've known him for years, or is he a recent chum?
What's that?
Have you known this chum for years, or is he a recent chum of yours?
No, we've known each other since mid-'90s.
Oh, so how old of a chum is he?
He's, 29?
All right, so you've been chummy for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do when you chum around? Do you go to strip clubs, or do you guys just kind of chum around to the mall?
Fuck, we don't chum around much at all anymore because, again, the guy's not allowed to go out anywhere.
Oh, because of the wife?
Oh, Jesus. She cut his balls off and glued them to herself.
Does she know you guys are like best chums?
Well, I guess you could say we were best chums then.
But
yes, we could.
When you were when you two express chumminess, it really bothers her.
Dude, that is the dumbest word for a friend I've ever heard in my life.
I would only want to hear that your friend's a chum if you were explaining why he was eating with a shark or by one.
chopped up being lobbed off a boat by a certain policeman.
I'll say pal then, okay?
How about just friend?
It's too late.
Yeah, don't say pal.
I don't even care about your point anymore,
Exactly.
chum. Take a hike.
Be good, friend.
Chum. I love it.
Chum.
You chum.
We must have said chum 1,478 times.
What an ass. Chum. Hey, Jeff, my chum from Connecticut. What's up?
How are you, friend?
Hey, Anthony. Good. Hey, congratulations, Anthony. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, my brother is going through a divorce right now. Same exact thing that you did, Anthony.
Yeah.
Same scenario. Mother-in-law buttoned in the whole thing. They kicked him out of the house. The mother-in-law lives a block away. Kicked him out of the house. He still pays every fucking bill in this house. Everything. She has a business in the house as a beautician, beauty parlor.
Yeah.
And he's getting fucked. She wants lifetime alimony.
Lifetime.
Do they have kids?
Lifetime. No kids.
How old?
I got 2 kids. I
Right.
pay my ex-wife over $600 a week. She wants close to that for lifetime.
Wait, how old is the woman?
The woman, she's 40.
Ugh. God, what a fucking disaster.
Fucking
that would be.
nightmare. Fucking nightmare.
Oh.
And he's got to pay her, before this is all said and done, he has to pay her $2,000 so she can go out and look for an apartment in the meantime before the
Yeah, that's
divorce.
good because, they're helpless.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you. We've been through this 1,000 times. Thanks, man.
You good, guys. Thanks.
It's ponderous. But, yeah, I'm done. Great.
Stay tuned. More Decade of Dominance to come. We'll be right back. We're back with more of the Decade of Dominance All Request Show. Call 1-866-385-4631 to request your favorite moment.
Yeah, I want to hear the interview with Snoop Pearson from The Wire and Louis C.K.
I don't know who it is.
Who's that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm being chastised.
Wait, is that Snoop? That's Snoop!
I don't know.
What's up?
Wire!
What's up?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it is.
Snoop, what's up? I know Snoop.
Yeah, from The Wire.
From The Wire.
Is that kid in the wire, really?
It might be a girl.
Yeah.
Man, big fan, man.
Snoop. Louis C.K.
How are you?
What's up? Holy
How's it going?
I don't know your real name. I know you're Snoop.
It's Snoop. How you feeling?
Sit down.
Your hair looks good, by the way.
Thanks, buddy.
I say that
thanks.
because in The Wire, how's my hair look?
Yeah.
Played one of the greatest characters ever on The Wire,
Yeah,
Snoop.
man.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! You were a scary motherfucker on that show. Holy shit!
It
Jimmy's
was
gonna.
TV. It was
I
the
understand.
scripts, man. I had to do what I was paid for, man. You know.
Jimmy's gonna be so bummed he's not
Jimmy's
here today.
gonna be so pissed. Good.
It's like his
What's up,
favorite show,
Jimmy?
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn, what
Jimmy's
are you
filming
doing,
a
man?
movie in Boston, but he'll be back tomorrow.
What? Music. I just had an interview over there. Music, television, reality show ready to come up. You know.
Which one? What are you doing?
Just trying to help kids get on the right track, you know, just like T.I. Road to Redemption. You know, I'm going to switch it up in my own flavor. So going all over the world, just helping kids, you know, out the ghetto. Go ahead.
What's
Say
your,
it.
where you from,
What?
man? What's that accent? Where are
Huh?
you from?
Baltimore.
Wow, man.
It's different than Sal. My stepfather's accent.
No, Baltimore is the South. Baltimore is the
Sounds
South.
like
It's the start of the South.
Yeah, it's just where it
Pretty
starts.
much, yeah.
South sure don't sound like that.
No. And you were discovered on the streets, right?
Yeah, in a nightclub. Michael K. Williams played a character Omar.
Sure.
And
fucking
he
Omar.
told me come on through. I came on through, and here I am. Making a long story short.
Just
you know?
like that. His whole
Yeah.
life changed because
Yeah.
Omar was in the same place.
Yeah, that was God though, man. Sure enough.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I was on the road to. Woo!
The road to Woo. Woo is just south of Baltimore, I
The
think.
road to Woo.
Yeah, you were in the game and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was my past life, selling drugs, trying to make a life for myself, and just put money in my pocket. I tried to do the right thing. I was incarcerated. Tried to do the right thing when
How
I
many
came
years?
home. 6.5 years.
So you went to jail and then you tried to change when you came home, you're
Yeah,
saying?
and they just downplayed me, man. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. They just fired me. All
They
three
what did you?
jobs. They fired me.
Oh, fired you.
Yeah. I had 3 jobs. They fired me. I said, man, fuck this, man. I'm going on the block, and I'm going to get it in, man.
And you went back to crime?
Hustling. Yeah. Yeah.
God,
how old were you
damn,
then?
man.
How old were you then?
What, when I came home?
Yeah, when you came home, how old were you?
21.
And then you had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Went back, and that's how long
I
did
was
those
working
3
for
jobs?
Ford and all that, making Ford bumpers, you know what I mean? Making $16 an hour. Yeah, I was just coming home. I was living a life
What did they fire you for?
because of my background, my criminal background,
Oh, they found out or some shit.
Yeah, but I said it on my job, on my application. Like, I mean, you know how they got the
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
have
you're
you ever
supposed-
been incarcerated? I put yes, explain, and interview. You know what I mean? And they still hired me, but 2 weeks later, they fired me. I say, damn, at least I got 1 paycheck.
What were the other? You worked for Ford. What were the other 2 jobs?
The book company and stacking boxes. Yeah.
God damn, man. Yeah. When'd you get the tats in prison?
No, I waited till I
they
came
look
home. I
They
wasn't
look
trying
too
to catch
good.
nothing.
Yeah.
in
They
the
look too
joint.
good to be prison tats.
Yeah.
Like, good thing you steered clear of those
Rusty
things.
needle and
Jesus Christ,
ink,
those things always look like shit.
Who is that? Who's Arnold?
That's my uncle, man.
Your uncle?
Yeah, he passed away while I was locked up. You know, that was like, when you don't know, y'all don't know.
No.
When you're incarcerated, all your friends and like half of your family just, disappear on you. And it's the man that.
He stayed with you?
Yeah, exactly. Visits, phone calls, money orders, all that, So he with me to my dying day,
Yeah, it must have meant a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Obviously, gonna get a tad.
Yeah, of
course.
Yeah, he's a guy I kind of knew once. I got a tattoo of a guy he gave
I
me.
talk about that in Grace After Midnight. I got a book out called Grace After Midnight. It's in Barnes and Nobles, Amazon.com. It's in reprint right now. You know what I mean?
Right on.
And I'm writing my second one.
And some kid is stacking that book in a box somewhere in Baltimore, where he used to work.
God damn, we don't even have any time left right
Yeah,
now.
just have me back, man. I just ran
love to
in
have
to
you
say
back.
hello, man.
Snoop,
I done
Jimmy,
sat down, man.
You got to come back when Jimmy's here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy will shit his pants.
Oh my God. Loves the wire.
I'm
Loves
put on
Snoop.
all black and run down on him, man. All right, I'll see y'all later, man. Thanks for
Thanks,
having me.
All right, Snoop.
Okay, man.
Very cool.
See ya.
It's Jimmy's.
I got you.
Oh, man.
my
I
God.
signed this yesterday for Jim, man.
Oh, you already signed one for Jimmy?
Yeah. Now I'm signing it again for
Sign it
they had
again.
it out
Yeah, you never know.
because I
with
did
Jimmy.
K Slay last night.
Jimmy be like, I'll take 2. Winking, blinking. What a psychopath he is. That's cool, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you got scared because
I'm like, God damn.
she was giving you all sorts of signs outside the
Like,
window.
man, what's up, man? Let me hear. See y'all later.
See you,
All
man.
right,
Nice
Snoop.
meeting you.
Thanks. Take it easy.
It was a good show, you guys, today.
Yeah.
Louis, you fucking. I love listening
shit
to
going
Louis
on.
C.K. He's
Oh.
got a way of looking at
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Did I say he? Who said he?
Who said
All
hey?
of us
No, I
said
didn't
he.
say he.
Was I
That's
the
a
only
he.
one?
What?
I know it's not a he.
The whole time.
I said man and dude. But I didn't mean like man or dude.
That's a man.
I
No,
wasn't
that's
gonna
a
say
she.
miss.
I knew that
No,
too, but I think I
that's-
might have slipped too.
That's a girl.
Okay. She was nice. She was a nice girl.
Yeah.
I think
She was a nice guy.
officially,
Girl.
who
Yeah.
said he instead of she? I think I got one out. Huh?
Louis did.
Louis did too.
What did I say?
You said he.
To him?
Yeah.
To her? To that?
God damn. No, I was just saying.
That,
dude.
wait, how did I
You
say
said
he?
Dude.
Louis said he. What,
But how did-
and
wait,
I was
what-
right there too.
Oh.
Yeah, you said he too.
That's why at the end I said well, she was giving gang signs to Anthony.
Shit. Holy shit, we are assholes.
Wait, so she got out of jail at 21?
21 had 3
Wait,
jobs.
but before that, she was in for 6.5 years, so she went in at 14,
Young,
14 and a half?
Young.
Damn.
What'd she do?
Well, from what I was told,
She was convicted of attempted murder.
Oh, shit.
It's just at 14.
It's just attempted.
I can't believe Anthony called her a him.
I did not. I was just saying, yeah, man. All right, yeah, hey, dude.
Wow.
I call girls, dude.
Yeah, just like that intern when she was leaving, right? I'll see
No.
you later, dude.
No.
Later, man.
I didn't. You're right, Danny.
Strange.
Yeah.
That was
funny timing. That whole.
It certainly was after the whole conversation.
Let's
we
meet
had.
a black on black violent. Let's meet one now.
Let's meet one of questionable sexuality.
You ever ask anybody for 50 cents,
50 cents?
In a not so nice way? Probably.
Probably. More,
Probably did.
will.
Attempted
Perhaps
murder.
more than that.
Interesting.
Attempted murder, right
No,
there.
this is
Louis.
why. This is
Right
why,
there.
Vietnam vets that were in prison meet their torturers, and everybody cries. And
Yeah.
That's why
Forgives.
I didn't know you had a.
Oh, now I get it.
See, your mom wasn't nice to you. Well,
3
it's fine
jobs
then.
and you were fired. You tried to go straight, and that's why you're slinging on rock back on the street again.
And then her
All right.
manager at Ford would be like, "That's not what fucking happened." Fuck her.
Let me tell you.
I gave her a shot. Why do you think I hired her?
We never lost so many bumpers in a week in my life. Fucking bumpers over each shoulder.
God knows.
You want to buy a bumper?
Yeah.
I'll sell you a bumper.
She'll come back.
Yeah.
You didn't see The Wire, really.
No, I'm not.
I
up
never
to that
saw
point.
it.
Oh, my God.
Not up to that point.
Fucking intimidate. Wow. Barely acting, though, because they got her right off the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like every time when you boil the crazy, fucked up America down to the individual, it just changes how you look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every person has their different weird story.
I'd like to hear the guy from Microsoft when he kept saying Chip, Chip, Chips. And Opie said, yeah, I tried to kill Chip because Chip went fucking nuts. That was the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard.
Steve Wozniak talking about the microchip.
What's that?
Here's Steve Wozniak.
Chips. What's that? Chips. What's that? Chips. I never had the courage to ask Chips. What's that? Steve Jobs. Free chips. What's that? Chip company. What? Very few chips. What's that? 20 chips. What's that? Which is very, very few chips. What's that? Chips I had That's with right. few chips. Yeah, what's that? Ram chips. No, with what's that? Ram chips. What's that? 8 chips. What's that? Used the chips. What's that? Including chips. What's that? Chip. What's that? What's that? Chips on. What's that? The chips. What's that? Chips. What's that? Chips. Their What's that? chips went bad to those chips. Oh, what's that? Registers, chips, What's that? dates, chips that were What's coming that? up. Small Yeah, chip. what's a that? couple of chips inside. What's that? Your chips What's could that? really do only one thing. They do, If right? chips What's were that? simpler. Without chips. What's that? I could use chips, What's the that? amount of chips, to few chips What's that? together and use a crystal clock chip. What's that? 28 chips for the What's that? Pong design. Wow, I that's programmed amazing. These I little never knew chips that. What's that? The fewest possible chips. What's that? Higher and higher Oh, in what's chip that? count. What's that? Approaching 200 chips. What's that? Thousands of little chips. Oh, but what's that? Wire chips together. Steve would wire the chips together. What's that? Connecting chips with what's that? wires, chips. Wires, with chip, everything. what's a chip? He took a What's normal digital chip. What's that? A chip that works with ones and zeros, What's that? not waves. And you spun this chip what's around that? with one little digital That's chip. pretty- The what's whole that? thing used 45 How did you chips. do that? What's that? They were paying us That's based really on how good. few These guys are chips very I what's could that? do it in. Brilliant Talking to about put that kind of stuff microprocessor together chips. because only now all the CPU I don't know how they're parts were doing on it. one chip what's that? instead of a bunch of chips. What's like that? memory I chips. don't know how they're doing this. A CPU Really on driving one me crazy. chip. What's that? And mine had a This is such a CPU that was knowledgeable on group of several people chips.
Oh,
To put that, or another processor
stuff
like
together.
It, and
I
some
never
memory
could have done
chips,
what's that?
which
I
really
never
was
could have
just a
done something
glorified
like that.
bunch
It's
of
really
chips
difficult. What's that?
with just a
It's
few
really
chips.
difficult to
And a couple of
to be
other
this
chips.
brilliant. What's that?
Read-only
To be this
memory
really intelligent.
chips.
What's that?
Chips that hold
I
their
could never do
information.
something
You
like
get a
that
ROM
because
chip,
what's
all
that?
the
It just seems like it's
components
really
and
difficult. What's that?
chip
It just seems like it's very
The chips
difficult
I
to
was
what's that?
interested in.
Very difficult
The
to
fact
do
that
this
chip
because
was
what's
so
that?
easy to get.
I
Of
can't.
what the Motorola chip would
What's
have
that?
cost me. Chuck Peddle was
Chuck
peddling
Peddle? Who the
the
fuck
chip.
is that? What's that?
But which chip?
Don't make
so
no. What's
that
that?
wire
It don't make
between
no
chips
sense.
would
What's
be
that?
short. The
Who the fuck
majority
is
of
Chuck
my
Peddler?
chips
What's
with
that?
RAM chips on
What's
it,
that?
and 2
Don't make no
interface
sense.
adapter
Wait,
chips.
what's that?
I used
Cocksucker
sockets
Chuck
for all
Peddler.
my chips
Fucking- what's
because
that?
I was
I hate his
where the
fucking
soldered
guts.
chips that went
What's that?
bad
Don't mean
easily
nothing to me,
removed
Chuck
bad
Peddler.
chips
Fuck you. What's
with
that?
a couple of PROM chips.
Cocksucker. What's that?
These programmable
Don't mean
read-only
nothing.
memory
Fuck you.
chips.
What's
2
that?
of these PROM chips that
What's
were
that?
available. These chips would
What's
hold
that?
my monitor program.
How
and
long
some
is this
PROM
tape? It's
chips
fucking good.
and both programs
This guy's really
into the
smart.
chip.
What's that?
I borrowed 32 SRAM chips with these chips inside
That's
their
right.
sockets with all the chips
What's
in
that?
place to burn the program into
I can't
the
listen
chip.
to this.
I
What's that?
studied the chip's data sheets. Here was a computer with 30 chips on it, having
that?
so few chips.
What's
It was like the same amount of chips on an Altair. We're talking about a new memory chip, which would
that?
have 4K bits per chip. The first time silicon chip memory
that?
would only take 8 chips
What's that?
instead of the 32 SRAM chips with as few chips as possible.
that?
I had selection chips, vertical counter chips of the 2 of these selection chips, and maybe another chip or 2 worth of logic. Get a DRAM chip. 4K bit DRAM chips for sale at a reasonable price. But he got me Intel DRAM chips. I had to add a couple more chips to my computer, but the Intel chips were physically so much smaller than the AMI chips. A smaller sized chip with fewest chips. I was trying to get chips for a computer I'd designed. If I used chips by Synergetics, the computer had fewer chips than if I used Fairchild chips. Which Synergetics chips I'd use? The Synergetics chips I'd used in the design were much larger than the equivalent Fairchild chips. Not simply fewer chips. From designing for fewer chips, usually fewer chips means fewer connections, but not always. Add a couple of extra chips to go with Intel's chips. Because that chip design eventually became the standard for all memory chips. Solder all
I'm
their
just
chips
saying
to a
it now. I
printed
don't even know who's
circuit. They were
calling
getting
me.
chips almost free from their companies
What do you
anyway.
want, Ma?
We did end up finding
Ma,
a
you're not
chip
supposed to.
distributor.
You're not
When he
supposed to
paid
do
us,
that with those
we
that
were able to
darker.
pay for the chips.
Ma, what's that?
Plug chips into sockets for $1 a
sitting on
board.
it like that.
Describe
I
the
like
chips
this.
on the
Ma, what's
board.
that?
With chips working
What's
at the
that? I feel like I'm
frequencies you would
dreaming
need.
of something.
Just a matter
What's
of
that?
buying more chips.
What's that?
The Apple II would be designed with colorability on those chips.
Oh,
In
what's
doing
that?
this, I knew I would save some chips.
fucking hate
the
this
Apple
book. What's
II
that?
ended up with half as many chips
What's
as the
that?
Apple
Why is he
I.
saying
By
this?
now, I had faster DRAM chips.
What's that?
These new chips
DRAM?
could do
What
it
the fuck are
twice
these?
every microsecond.
Oh,
this
God.
little blank board with chips on the
Oh,
top
what's
side
that?
of it. There wasn't a single chip I
I
could
know,
save.
what's
I was
that?
so impressed to meet him after
Please.
the role. His
Opie?
chip showed
What's
him how
that?
many chips and how it
Chip,
worked
what's
and
that?
everything. That was making a chip that was
What's that?
compatible with. They said that any ROM chips we had
what's that?
around connected to a ROM or PROM chip on the board with just a single PROM chip. The 22 or so chips,
What's that?
about 20 of them weren't needed. I stripped out 20 of their chips. I did this using 2 chips.
What's that?
One chip was a
What's that?
register and one was a PROM.
What's that?
And saving it to the master 8-bit chip register.
What's that?
And put in the exact same chips.
What's that?
And had us add chips
What's that?
you do have inside the chip. That's
what's
because the chip didn't already have 4-bit microprocessor chip.
What's that?
Transistors on a chip.
What's that?
Memory chips.
What's that?
Wow. So
That was fucking good. Let's hear that again. That's fucking great, this guy.
This has been the Decade of Dominance All Request Show. Call in to request your favorite moment for future shows. 1-866-385-46